What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and I'm back. I've been gone, what, about a week now? I know I still got some videos to make up. I will be able to make up now. I took care, was able to take care of, like I said, the back homework because of illness, everything. Heck, I still got one assignment because the teacher was so sick, she gave us automatically extension, but, I'm smooth selling now, so it's no more interruptions, you know what I mean? At least for the next 4 months until I go back to school. I know all y'all thinking like, what the heck is she talking about? Yeah, but I'm just letting you know I am back. So, I'm doing the Real Housewives Atlanta Reunion Part 2 review. What is season 6, 600, 6 million, billion, whatever, okay? I'm ready to end. That should be the title of this, okay? Alright. We're just going to talk about the highlights. You already probably have seen most of my family YouTube or my YouTube cousins. Videos of this particular show, recap of the show. And if you're not okay, also shout out to my YouTube fam, my old and new subscribers. I know I got to catch up with the comments, y'all. Been a little behind. Anyways, also, if you're not a subscriber, click the subscription button below and share, like, subscribe. Okay. Now, let's talk about the highlights. Of course, we had to have a PSA again with all of a sudden Andy talking about they do not tolerate violence. And I know a lot of us, just like me, are dating confused because the last time I checked, I thought that violence was tolerated. But like I said before, maybe rules have changed. But the way they're going about it is as if somehow it's secured somewhere in some secret file somewhere we don't know about, and we somehow just forgot, that they condone violence and have condoned. Didn't they condone violence, even though the husbands are technically not a part of the show? Didn't we see the Brandon Apollo / Peter fight? And I'm just saying, and if Peter and Nene's husband Greg would have actually got a figure of altercation, would they be allowed? I mean, are they going to be allowed back on the show? I know the Apollo thing's still with because we don't even know about his sense of. We heard about a plea deal. We don't know, okay? But I'm just saying, even just for the show itself, but we already know a lot of us have seen and heard about, previous for Real Housewives, etc. But anyways, y'all, then Kenya wants to sit here. And I'm surprised she didn't have. Oh, I actually found my tiara over there. Anyway, gave us a speech, and all her life she has to fight, and she had to fight prejudice. Violence is not the answer. But she said she's good with her words. But then I'm thinking, like, well, sweet, why did you bring props? I mean, like I said, I can see from both ends. Like, people can say, like, Portia fucked her checked up, and she shouldn't let Kenny get to her. But at the same time, y'all, I'm looking at it from this angle. We have to remember that sometimes props can be used as weapons. A couple of us, if we've seen a couple more of these ratchet-ass reality TV shows, we have seen the choice of fighting, fighting is not usually with fists. It is usually like with a glass, maybe a fruit or two, maybe a Harry Potter book. I don't know. I'm just guessing, okay? I'm just saying that we have seen props that have been used as weapons. So it's all in your face. It could be understandable why it could be other way. Like I said, Portia didn't have to take that route, but you gotta understand is it could have been. She could have thought and could, but just irritating. And she could have thought it could have. Like I said, you could have lounged. I'm just saying. And then I'll just leave it alone about the fight. But like I said, she up here and I'm from Detroit and I had to fight people. Then you got Nene up here sleeping like this and shit. I mean, I don't even understand why she came to the review. I think they do get a bonus or something. I mean, I know they isn't a contract bonus, whatever the case is. So they're able to go. So here you got the thing, the highlight again about Kenya, the situation. Phaedra and both Nene were letting her know like you did provoke her and blah blah blah. And then they talk about Chuck and his wife Monique with the silent Y, and the thing about how Nene, Phaedra all of a sudden are friends or they cordial. Nene apologized about that head doctor comment and all this other stuff, which I have to question mark. Is she be the main one bringing up something about when they were 15, they grown ass women in their 30s and probably some of them probably pushing 40 already, but grown ass women, whatever. And I noticed that I'm thinking like, of all people, she don't want people to judge her son, family and stuff like that, but she's quick to point out that. I'm just saying. So anyways, but Candy was surprised about it first. you know, about their friendship. But then they brought up about Chuck with this thing about talking about Phaedra was the head doctor. She was, okay. But anyway, if she was Queen Deep Throat, that was her business. I'm just saying. But you know, Kenya, who wasn't there, she was Detroit when she was in Tom High School. At that time being, I think. So I don't understand how she knows about this stuff, about knowing that, about agreeing about the head doctor comment, and about saying it's in court documents about her being head doctor. Because Phaedra led before, like, I was a nerdy girl in school. You know, basically she's giving the good girl thing, even though, that doesn't matter as well. But it's like now, it's like, okay, we realize about the Chuck situation. Somebody sent a question in, talking about, you know what, how you gonna talk about how little Chuck is, and y'all both dated him, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, some one of them questions, right? And basically, both, Phaedra and Kenny, like, what we were ticked off is like how, you know, we thought he was a nice guy and blah, blah, blah. That's what we went for. We didn't went for him for his, sexual energy or whatever the heck he can do in the bedroom, whatever the case was. You know, just one of those things. I mean, it was, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just so sick of, I just want to break from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just let us start chats. But that's what that is. So yeah, they squashed the question. Like, so Nene, Phaedra are now cordial and they're friends. And Nene's like, just let them be and all this other stuff, right? Because you know what I really want to get the highlight is the last two parts. But like I said, I didn't know why Kenya was sitting here talking about something she didn't know about. I don't know the head court, honestly, what she meant by her being the head doctor was in the court documents. I don't know. You know, Kenya had to make sure that she got in the segment, even though it had nothing to do with her. She was going to make sure she got in, you know. So anyways, here goes Mama Choice. It's the next part. And even though Candy's said tweeted that her mother's never drank in her life, I swear, I think she, you know, maybe Candy just believes it. And maybe if she does, possibly does drink, she just don't let her know about it. Because she came there like, you know, they were filming, remember, the hotel. Because remember, Kenya Moore was sitting there calling 911 after, you know, Portia did that drag. That's where after she went, I think, with Miss Lawrence. And she went to a dressing room probably to call then afterwards. You know, when we finally heard the call. And so we didn't know whether or not, you know, Mama George was like, oh, is this an open bar? I'll take the extra one. This is some good ass wine. Shit. I'm just saying, we don't know what was going on there. Or either, you know, since she had to let us know she got money, she got paparazzi, diamond rings, bling bling. She has money in the bank. I'm glad. I was thinking, what's she gonna say that she making it rain and shit? I just was thinking, you know, I don't know. Okay, so she gets on the stage. She's let us know she lost 40-something pounds due to stress with this Todd situation, and she wished Todd would have been in the picture a couple years ago, so go to help her lost the weight. Candy, you know, sitting there as usual. It's like she's embarrassed, but it's kind of like something she used to at the same damn time. So people had a couple questions, you know. I mean, it was questions asked, like, you know, for example, what did Todd's mom think about, or something along the lines, I don't quite remember, you know, how they get along and whatever. Well, she called me a bitch one time, you know, but, you know, she tried to claim that she stopped herself from going across the table, and Katie said she had to restrain her, but I mean, that wasn't going to be pretty. Also, too, she was saying, like I said, it was her that was working, she made Candy the millionaire, and then you have to think about it. I actually did have bought, when CDs was still popular, all of Escape's albums, CDs, right? There was Mama Joyce in the background like this, you know, the Trace in My Lipsticks album with all them got red on and shit on. Was she in the first album when coming at you and they sitting there with some damn overall stuff like that? I'm just saying, unless she was co-producing, writing songs, Jermaine Dupri, I kind of was wondering. They didn't give her credit for writing Scrubs for TLC. I'm just saying. I mean, she prepared her for this and this. Then she up here talking about if her son was, you know, she claims to a certain degree that she doesn't have no problem with Todd, but at the same time, one thing she regrets, I think it was one of the questions asked, is basically the backlash she got was people realized she was so far to get Todd out of her from away from her daughter and possible extra piggy bank. She wanted to make sure that you know, she wanted to make sure, you know, that was secured. But then she's got all this feedback from Twitter and the Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and probably the few people on MySpace. I'm just saying is that, you know, I'm just saying, y'all. So anyways, you know, Candy, and then Candy seemed like her way of just flat out just saying to Mama Joyce, you know what, it is what it is. If you don't have to like fashion, fine. I'm the one marrying him. That's here or there, whatever. She wished she could wear black, but she's not allowed. She was thinking about getting some black nail polish. Like I said, she had to remind us, you know, she's looking for her peach. And I'm thinking, like, you probably are. Because if she's not drunk or possibly may not be medicated or anything else, or whatever, if she's doing all this just to be on the cameras, my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, one interesting thing, did y'all notice that Favorite took another stab at Kenya? Maybe to me, y'all write comments below. But I remember when they were saying the comment, because that's my favorite, because when she was joking about she felt like strangling, you know, remember how somebody be serious and they'd be like, you know, they give you that look like, you know, don't be fucking with me. And, you know, the teeth don't fucking move. No, they just be, you keep fucking, you know, just and grit, you know, the teeth just clenching the teeth. And she was basically saying, oh, that ain't nothing. That was just office talking. The doors would have been closed. And I'm thinking, what? Something wrong with that lady. So, Phaedra said to calm down. I don't know, she has to input, whatever. But Phaedra in the end was saying some comment along the lines, like she could understand, you know, she thinks Guy Todd is a good guy for Candy. But at the same time, at a certain point, she can understand on one side about why, because she's a mother. So I guess something that a mother, hint, you know, how she already called Kenya unbearing and stuff like that. Because, you know, they had to go back and forth in between, you know, it's something of the norm. And before Mama Joyce, I think, got on. And she just like this, like, you know what, only a mother will understand, you know, about, you know, just being, you know, basically trying to protect your kids. So she can understand to that agree about her being protective. You know, I guess she went over the line, but I'm just saying only a mother will understand. And we already know Kenya is the only one on that stage that does not have any children. And we already know supposedly that she wants to have kids. Yeah, so anyways, it got to the point where, you know how, like I said, Mama Joyce is making it seem like I got this and this and I did it on my own. I went to pie factories, and if, you know, my body is nice now, I was definitely nice with it back in the day. If I would have got the money, what I would have got, because she's around the baby, they high five and they just laughing, but I think that some of them might have been laughing at her, not with her. And she made Cynthia apologize because Cynthia was saying like she was oh, that's how I think it kind of started. She made Cynthia apologize about this comment, like she was basically living off Candy money, or basically like Candy was a meal ticket, okay? And it still makes it seem that way because, y'all, when Candy in some way was trying to basically check Mama Joyce as if, you know, Mama Joyce makes it seem like she don't do Candy don't do nothing for her. And, you know, she made, like I said, made her a millionaire. She made marrying off the 100 there. And then he was trying to discredit, like, oh, they getting married 2 weeks. And actually it was 1 week before that time. But it turns out, we find out why she's making sure she keeps that secure. Because Candy was talking about, there was credit cards that she snuck, Mama Joyce snuck and got in her, in Candy's name. It was up here. Spending on stuff or whatever, and you know, and she's trying to say, oh, it just happened one time or whatever. And then she sat here and was saying something along the lines also about, she also was saying, what, you know, and Candy, you know, she was talking about Candy only gave her $700 or something like that, you know, I guess Winkleye's, or to balance out, I guess, the money that she took or whatever. I don't know what the hell she was doing, okay? But she only gave me $7, and Candy said all she did was gamble her money up and spend on home shopping network. Then she said she could do whatever she want with her money. Then I'm thinking like, well, you know, well, who gonna pay your bills if all your money's being spent on getting the latest fashion of church suit with church hat on hold for $4.99 and you only make $14.99 purse to match with it, and you only make 2 payments on it. I'm just saying is that you know, well, who's going to pay the bills if you're going to spend your money the way you want to? And it's obviously she may possibly have a little shopping problem and or gambling problem. Based on, I'm just saying. But, and all of a sudden she was all concerned. In the end, she's worried about her, you know, Riley, you know, and her daughter all of a sudden. Even though it was really about supposedly Todd because she felt like he was opportunist. Now it's changed. to now she's concerned about Riley. I'm sorry, I just gotta do this. That's pretty much the whole scene. We ain't really gotta go into it, but like I said, it's just the thing back and forth. Like Candy just wants to say she don't mind taking care of Mom, but it's just like she wants to get more credit than what is due, and you know, hopefully stuff be kumbaya. But we pretty much, like I said, she just, oh my gosh, it's please Candy, please take on the show. I can't. So the last part, like I said, really wasn't that much going on this particular reunion that stood out. Like I said, I think, you know, of course, there was something around Phaedra said to Kenya, of course, about, you know, she would never, you know, whether she's a head doctor or not. I think this was before Joyce got on. You know how I ramble, y'all. Most of y'all know. But, you know, maybe whether she is or not, something about being the head doctor, whatever, you know, you will never be a housewife, whatever. And here again, Kenya, which wants to keep guaranteed that she know how to get you with them words, sits there and says some comment like, you know what? Well, somebody's husband, you know, strays, whatever. Well, you know, not too far away, you know, strays. And, you know, Phaedra let know, like, well, if he is straying, it's not towards you. Okay. And the last part is, you know, Cynthia, I brought my piggy bank with me, y'all. Yeah, nobody, if anybody wants to contribute some money, with Cynthia's trying to, I think might be getting a backbone, but I did bring my bank this time, just in case. Anyway, so it turns out we see a strain in Cynthia's and Nene's friendship. Cynthia is claiming that, you know, ever since the bitch comment, it seemed like the real reality is some people can, you know, whether it's platonic or romantic relationship, they can still be around each other and shit, and over time still be, you know, it still fades. You can still be, but you know, when it starts to fade, it fades, you know what I mean? And so, she's claiming that ever since, really not too much, or since a couple weeks ago, they have not been engaging and talking with each other, whatever, since she looked at, when she realized and seen on TV, and it was a smack in reality, and people can't try and tell you, and when you know, basically when you get that, you really get it, the eureka, you know, and stuff like that moment, and realize, aha, and that's pretty much what she said. And I guess being reminded and realizing how she basically just sat there and just, you know, let her know that Nene had her backbone completely. And that's even what she said. She had so much loyalty to Nene that she was basically up, people thought she was basically up Nene's ass. And I'm like, well, so she, you know, she was saying, you know, Nene, she was basically saying, like, enough is enough. Nene said they've been hanging out. I think they were saying something about Instagram to prove, like, she don't know what the heck this is coming from because it's been so many months and weeks later. And, you know, they've been hanging out and everything else. And now all you want to bring it up like something you have a problem. She's trying, Nene's probably just justify also as well that, you know, well, Peter does, you know, has gotten it with this lady, gotten this lady, getting this lady. He does not mean, you know, the thing is she's trying to justify is she had every right to call him a bitch, but actually Peter was not talking to you. Greg was the one who was sitting here getting in Peter's face or whatever. But what I'm saying is actually them two men were engaging in a conversation, and that's when you had to say like he was acting like a bitch as if he was checking. I'm just saying was Greg, you know, it was Greg and Peter. So she's talking about referring to how he always gets, which it is true. I mean, I think he does say in the preview, he does bring the goddamn peach in the next time. But at the same time, I'm just like, still, she's not apologizing. She thinks like he deserved to be called a bitch or act like a bitch, depending on the way to say. By the way, I didn't say this last review, but I mean, does Nene have that bun in the back of her head? You know how you get from the beauty supply sometimes, and it costs $6.99 or something, and you know, she put some bobby pins and just called the goddamn day. I'm confused, okay? But anyways, that's besides the point. So, you got Cynthia here just, you know, Andy's asking about, you know, how, I think they were, asking about something about the relationship and how it goes from Breathe Now or some of those lines. And then it's basically like, well, why should y'all care? Y'all don't give a shit no way, blah, blah, blah. And Andy had to remind her, like, okay, y'all is on TV. This is open, you know, stuff like that. Hello, I am your boss shit. You may be bringing in the money shit. But what I'm saying is that I just realized, you know, we just realized she was trying to make it seem like, I noticed when Nene get questioned a lot of things, she kind of is like, don't you go there, but she'll take it there with you. Like, I do remember that hilarious thing was Kenya and Nene were going back and forth, and Nene was like, no, let me call Portia, and then Kenya, don't make me call Marlo. And Nene was kind of silent. Did she even talk anymore to Kenya, or not that much after? Not too much really, or nah? But, so, back to this thing. Well, Cynthia says she realized that she's been there, she's been a lawyer, she's been a friend. There's a friendship there, but there's no respect. And I'm thinking like, no, it's just no friendship there, because usually you can't be friends. But, you know, if there's no respect there, it's not really friend. Okay, maybe that's just me. But she, on the other hand, is basically like, she just realized that she was there for Nene, Nene was there for her. Nene's like, we can have private conversations, blah, blah. Cynthia begins to cry, and Nene's just like this. And then, Candy was even saying, like, you're a selfish friend. Tom, Kenya, of course, mad to put her input. It's like, you've never been really good friends with a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. Even though I think Andy might have been asking Cynthia her opinion. But Kenya decided to answer on behalf of Cynthia before she answered. Or Kenya, I'm just like, yeah, but so in the end, there may not be a return of their friendship, whatever the case was. And I think Nene had nerves to say something about Cynthia, because I didn't see what's happening live either with Cynthia afterwards. And basically she was saying, obviously, she wasn't a friend about, here she's trying to get, Cynthia fired and all this other stuff. And that's what Cynthia's like, you know what, forget this, whatever. And Nene has a problem with it, but it's like, okay, you think she wasn't supposed to respond? I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying this. Nene just looks like, I'm just here for the check, bitch. I do not want to be bothered. I'm rich, bitch. I got all these scripts to read and stuff. So if they got Bridemaid Part 2, I'll be in that. I got a script for that. I'm just saying. But that's pretty much how it ends, y'all. We got the final part next week. I'm so glad. I'm sorry, y'all. I really wasn't into this review. But yeah, y'all. That was just kind of the highlights that I seen. And y'all have a pleasant week, not pleasant weekend. And like I said, I will be back to doing my reviews. And any ones that I have been behind, I will be able to do them. I'm not going to say exactly what day, because every time I do that, I can't do it the next day afterwards. But yeah, I will be able to catch up everything. So y'all take care, y'all.